Once, these cells were kept by Oryx. He imprisoned defeated enemies and discarded progeny to be stripped for chitin and repurposed into something useful. Now this prison is occupied by the Taken, and Xivu Arath's hive come to bring the war to them.
No matter how we slice it, Xivu Arath gains power from fighting. We're in a poor position to start, but we can minimize what she gains. Be efficient. Strike fast. Disrupt her ritual before it can gain traction. Her forces glory in these fights. They build tides in battle, not only victory. Cut them short. I see Xivu Arath's ritual proceeds apace. If you reach beyond your own prison.
So it does. And I see you are familiar with the art of fighting our god of war. You cut her battle short. Blunt, but respectable. I have in my time done the same.
Taken putting up walls. After the Hive are already inside, that's not late. That's strategy. They're up to something. Hive or Dread, doesn't matter. Take them down while they're off balance.
What a killing floor this would be.
Sure you can't rein him in anymore?
Zebu Wrath has something of mine. I can taste it from here. Sword edges and screaming.
Not until we claim that artifact. Nothing more than pockets of battle here. You must keep going deeper still.
The deepest part of this prison has seen the most death. The most suffering.
If you cannot bring yourself to provide something useful, then be quiet.
Useful? The Dreadnought was made after my memory. But I understand the flow of energy here. You're running out of time.
beacon and the ritual between them. The hilt of the Willbreaker. By the relic of a brother's sword, Zebu Arath would cleave the dreadnought from my throne. Willbreaker, we need that hilt. Guardian, get shooting.
You treat the Taken as something apart from the Hive. They do have other species among their number, but it was I who made them. They are Hive, and their newfound curiosities serve me well.
But something else has stepped into the gap.
This is not my taking. Knife of my slaying. To arms.
You have no authority here. What matters is that taking it down won't empower Zebu Arath, right? Then we cut the chatter. Hive in the area. Activity's dying down. Zebu Arath's sword is still in the dreadnought, but everything else seems fine. She will not soon be able to try again. For now, we have won. And we have Willbreaker's hilt. What about Oryx? He's secure, discontented, but held fast.
The Shadow Legion rounded up another group of captives from the outlying settlements last night.
These civilians are easy targets. Relocate everyone you can to the farm until it's safe.
Don't think we haven't tried, chap. We've brought in as many as we can, but most won't leave their homes. The best we can do now is free those who've been captured.
I perceive an affinity between worlds, a place where the Ascendant and Material planes could converge. Secure this area, that a portal might be opened.
quite drab, this place. Frostland looks a right treat compared to this shambles.
It was not always so. The existence of the ley lines point to a grandeur in this place, now lost to history.
Bit like my church, that. War makes ruins of us all.
Summon a balefire in its place. It will consecrate this place and drive the darkness out before it.
One of the taken ahead is a servitor which has been defiled. It is an affront to all Elixni and must be destroyed.
I wouldn't worry about that, Mizrax. If it's between the Guardian and that prison, it's going down.
It causes Elixni pain to see a source of ether life turned into something vile.
Believe me, nobody knows how you feel better than I do.
Your re-entry point lies just ahead. Perhaps these taken systems destroy their blights to breach the pyramid.
I tested the perimeter of that pyramid for hours but couldn't find any entry points. And now the Guardian just walks in?
It depends on one's point of view. The walls of the prison may be impenetrable, but the walls between worlds are not.
You never did have much respect for boundaries, did you? Target the most powerful Taken and collect their essences.
The light of your balefire will consecrate them, transforming them into weapons of singular power.
Shadow Legion seems not to tire.
Neither must we.
Guardian, we've received limited intel regarding a Vex information depot. I want you to get in there and figure out what they know.
Greetings, Captain. Commander Zavala has requested that I run tactical on this mission. Please allow me to help you with your invasion of the Insight Terminus. I have not detected significant Vex activity in that area since shortly after the Exodus Black arrived. Yeah, but since the dad kinda follows you around, I wouldn't count on that.
Guy looked like a commander of some sort.
That's correct, friendly ghost. That commander was Target, an elite Cabal scion who's caused significant damage to the Vex Collective in this time stream.
This sounds bad.
Guardian, I'm making the elimination of Kargan your priority on this operation. His crew has been active all over the system. From our intel, he's mostly targeting Vex installations. However, removing him can only strengthen our position. Put him down.
I have good news and bad news.
Give us the good news first.
The good news is that Kargan is killing Vex by the dozen.
All right. What's the bad news?
Kargan has almost complete control over the Vex Gate network. I predict several detachments of Cabal over the next few minutes.
Wonderful. There's got to be a way to get through here. Failsafe, any ideas?
I believe Centurions will possess the means to remove the Vex block and grant you ingress. Nice work, Captain. But you're gonna need one more.
Here's Kargan. Variables into his decryption processor. That should slow him down. Location secured, Commander Zavala.
Good work, Guardian. What intel did you discover?
There's an almost unreadable data artifact here labeled Oxa. It's heavily corrupted, but I'm able to make out M. Sun.